our soundtrack was suddenly gone. We had no money anymore. We had Motorhead, and we had all these huge bands doing songs. We couldn't do anymore. We just went to all our friends and just said, write songs for us.
Right on.
So we knew Henry, we knew Blinding in God, we knew the Buttholes. Like everyone just kind of gave us stuff. And yet the soundtrack is so good because those bands are really good. So.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. It's about Death Wish 3.
All right.
So it's supposed to be New York, filmed in England. What was it, the purpose, or what did the symbols mean that you guys all had on your foreheads? Who came up with those crazy designs?
In Death Wish 3, I play I mean, you can look at me and know what I play a Puerto Rican gangster. Named Hermosa. My mother still calls me Hermosa sometimes just to F with me. It's so weird. You know, look, I've done a lot of talking about Michael Winner and his directorial style, shall we say. The movie was a ton of fun to do, and the cast was incredible. Like Mark Paulson, Ed Lauder, and Deborah Rabbit, on top of having Bronson. It was amazing, really lovely, and great to talk to. But the movie is a complete train wreck. It's such a train wreck that it's entertaining. You know, we just showed it in London a few years ago, and Edgar Wright, is a friend of mine, came out and introduced it, and the crowd was so boisterous once they realized what this thing was. We just ended up doing like a talk along. We just talked, sort of gave notes through the whole movie on what was going on. So I mean, the symbol, what does any of it mean? I think the symbol was like Michael like grabbed some paint and started painting on Gavin's head one day, and the next thing I knew, we all had that crap on our head. I don't think there was any more meaning to it than that. The reverse mohawk is still the funniest thing I think anyone's ever deemed to do in a non-comedy. Yeah.
You go ahead.
Hi. I wanted to know, do you have any weird, like, funny stories on set of Lost Boys?
Weird, funny stories.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stories. You know, the most of them are pretty. I mean, it was a really fun movie to do. You know, and it was hard movie to do. Very hard. And Joel was under a lot of pressure. The studio did not understand what he was doing. Fair way of saying, until it was the biggest selling home video title we've ever had. So that took like 5, 6, 7 years after the movie came out. But it was hard, you know. The train track scene, which is arguably the best scene in the movie, is really hard. It was really hard to do, and really fun at the same time. I think the weirdest thing for me was none of us knew what the movie was. Like on the page, it was like a bunch of guys in like the Wild Ones. You know, I was wearing like a black leather jacket and driving a Triumph. I got to set. I started to get tipped off because I got this. You know, I loved my jacket. Like, I loved my outfit, but it wasn't. I didn't understand how it fit the movie I read. There you go. And then the hair, and then the makeup, and I was like, where's this movie going? And then I got to Santa Cruz to start shooting, and the day I got there was the day they were shooting the Tim Capello scene on the beach. And I just went to watch them shoot. I'm not in that scene. And, or not in the part they were shooting, which was all the Tim Capello oiled up stuff. And I got there, and I was like, what the hell am I in? How does this in any way relate to this movie that I've signed off? Like, where is this? Like, rifling through my script, trying to find oiled up saxophone. And we just kind of rolled with it because we all trusted Joel, and we were right to trust him. You know, I didn't dislike him. I just didn't know what the hell he was doing. But it was, you know, it was really fun anyway. So.
Are there any plans to put on streaming or video, waiting for those who couldn't go to New York to see it?
Yeah. The Beckett estate does not allow, like, videoed productions of the plays. It's like a strict rule of Beckett's will. There were a few from back in the day before he died that are on YouTube or whatever that he hated so much that he was like, this cannot ever be done again. What we did do was Lucy Walker, who was one of my favorite documentary filmmakers filmed a documentary of the entire process. It started like at least a year before the show, like going to England to the Beckett archives, all of the rehearsals, and she shot many, many, many nights of the show. And she was making a movie about the production of the show. But it won't have the whole play in it because it can't legally, unfortunately. But we do have it. I haven't actually seen it. We have filmed versions of the show that are like beautifully done, but we can't legally distribute those.
It's cool that you guys have it just for the sake of having it.
Yeah, I mean, I said it to Lucy last time we filmed with her, which was like a couple of weeks ago. I'd love to get my mitts on that whenever they have a cut, like a line cut. I have no idea. When you're doing a show, you have no idea how it, you just don't know. You're in it. I have no idea what that vibe was for the audience at all. Zero.
First off, thanks for your contributions to film. Second, you're a fan of film. Did you ever stay on set and watch Schumacher's work? See how
Oh, dude, I was such a pain in the ass on that movie. I was literally, I was a film student when I made it. I had to drop out of NYU film school to make it. So I never graduated. I dropped out to go shoot at Lost Boys. And I was an NYU film student. And Michael Chapman was the DP. Michael Chapman shot Raging Bull. He was first AC on Jaws. Like, that's God if you're an NYU film student. He shot fucking Taxi Driver. Right? And there he is shooting this like vampire movie with Tim Capello oiled up on the beach. And all I did that whole shoot was follow Mike Chapman around like a lapdog. I'm sure he hated me. He always called me kid. Like, hey, there's the kid. There he is. There's the kid. I think that was derogatory. But yes, I was a sponge on any shoot. I sometimes would act in movies just because the director was someone I wanted to learn from. I did a movie called Haunted Summer that Yvonne Passer directed. It's just a little movie about Byron and Shelley that we shot in Italy right after World War I. Laura Dern and Eric Stoltz. And Yvonne was a big Czech director who made movies that I love. And I literally signed on to that just so I could follow him around. And then he ended up bringing on he brought Pepino Ortuno on to shoot it. We shot all the Fellini movies. He shot 8.5. So there I was following Pepino around every day, like a lapdog, yet again. But Pepino, unlike Mike Chapman, actually really liked me. He kept talking to me about how stuff got made. Mike Chapman, I think, really quite loathed me. But he was under a lot of pressure, and he was trying to get his job done. I was probably an impediment.
Yeah.
Was there any props that you wanted to keep from the Bill and Ted movies at all?
I kept stuff. I mean, I had the jacket for a long time from Lost Boys till it eventually deteriorated. I had my robot head from Bill and Ted 2. It was a doorstop in my house for years until it too deteriorated. A close friend of mine still has the smiley face from Keanu's shorts, which he just probably got out of the ward. He came to visit me in Phoenix. I think probably ended up with it out of the ward for the part, which Keanu and I find hilarious. But everything deteriorates, you know. So I don't think I have anything of any magnitude anymore. I have the license plate for my car free. That's up on my wall in my office, the Santa Flan license plate. Yeah, it's about
Thought
all
of
it's-
robot building a door stop in your house.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you remember directing Smosh the movie?
I don't. Are you sure that was me? Of course I do. Do I remember? I'm not that old, damn it. Yeah, I love those guys so much. I love them so much. I saw Anthony not that long ago. They were both in my well, Anthony was in my YouTube doc. Ian was like, I wasn't able to. Ian lives up here still, I think. I think he's still Sacramento. But Anthony's down in LA now. I love those guys so much. They were so great. And it was an enormous amount. It was about the silliest set I was ever on. We just laughed our asses off every day. Yeah, I really like those guys.
Yeah, all the way in the back there.
Yeah, what was it like doing the House of Nightmares season?
Which ones?
The House of Nightmares season?
Oh, with the Granny Preston ones, you mean? Yeah. Well, they were really fun. It was, Peter Hewitt is a really talented filmmaker, and he had really interesting cinematic ideas for that. He used this lens on my shot that was very, I think it might have been custom, but this really cool thing with how it zoomed in and dollied in. It wasn't the dolly and zoom out effect. It was a different thing in terms of how it kept its focal length. But really fun. All of that stuff. That movie was so much fun to do from a movie making standpoint. Peter just had incredibly inventive ideas for every shot, and it was all done in camera. So, like simple things like us walking out of the Battle of the Bands and throwing our stuff in the van, that shot literally like cranes down on us walking across the parking lot. As it is in the movie, it's all one shot, no cut. We just put our stuff in the van and we close the van doors. You don't think about it, but he had to build a van with a hinged roof that would allow the crane to come in, and then we kind of fold in like a piece of origami to become a van around the camera, just for that shot. And I was like, it's fun to be in a movie where the director cares enough to build stuff that's that elaborate. So the whole movie was fun for that reason.
Sure.
What was it like working with Bobcat Goldthwait?
Oh, Bob is amazing. Bobcat played Sockhead in Freaked, meets an untimely demise. Bob's amazing. He's still great. He's out on the road again doing stand-up, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. He's a very good person. Talk about a great filmmaker. He's also a really good filmmaker.
You actually talk like that in person?
What's that? No, I mean, no, not at all. And it's like Carlin was the same. Carlin was not the same off stage the way he was in his stand-up persona at all. It wasn't an act. It was just a similar to Bobcat in a way that it was just a quieter person, and kind of became this thing when he went on stage. Bob is pretty understated, and George was very, very understated. If you were around him, you'd almost think he was shy until you got him going. He's obviously very smart and thoughtful, but he was not a ferocious, mile-a-minute guy that you would see stand up at all. More like Rufus. He's more like Rufus in real
Did you
life.
see Shakes the Clown? Did you see that movie? Shakes the Clown, did you see it?
Yeah, I love Shakes. I love
Yeah.
all of Bob's movies.
Yeah.
Shakes is great.
Yeah.
The later movies are great too. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy, go ahead.
What was going through your mind when you were doing the audition with Holy Short to Bill Head?
What's that?
What was going through your mind when you were doing the audition with Holy Short to Bill Head?
The audition
Yeah.
for the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's weird doing auditions. Auditioning is weird. And like, I don't, like, even though I write scripts, I often don't really get a movie until I'm in it. I didn't really get Bill and Ted when I read it to audition. You only get those pages, right? I think. Like, nowadays, sometimes you get the whole movie, but I just got what's called sides, right? You're just doing this scene and this scene. And I remember just thinking, like, I don't quite know where this is going. And I think that worked to my advantage in a way, just because I just love the language of those characters so much. They're so fun to say. And what came off the page that seemed really obvious was how close these friends are. And, you know, we all do, but I had friends that were like, you know, when I was like 8 or 9 and 10, me and my friends like had this world of imagination that we lived in. We would just create these elaborate like adventures that would go on all day, sometimes for days in a row. And I just remember thinking, it's like these guys are 9, even though they're like high school guys. They're like, I just went in and played them like I was 9, because that's what I related to. And then I watched them recently, because they ended up on the net again recently. And I was like, oh, Keanu's doing this, we're just doing the same thing. Like, I think that's why there was chemistry there. We both came at the guys the same way. If you watch a lot of the other actors who are really, really good, they're playing characters, right? They're like, I'm this teen weirdo guy, you know? And I was like, I'm just this 9-year-old who likes hanging out with his friend. that's all I'm doing here, you know? I'm not like thinking about talking like a Valley guy, or, you know, Keanu's from Toronto, I'm from New York mostly. Neither of us are from the Valley, or even California. So I think that was it. I think that was just play, and, you know, auditioning can be fun if you just look at it like, I'm just going to go play, and not like, oh my God, I have to get this part. You know? But don't think that was going through my head. Probably one of 3 auditions I had that day. You go from that to the next one to the one after, whatever. That was the circuit. You didn't think you were going to get anything.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, it isn't. I mean, I haven't thought of that. Nothing is impossible. We went to Manchester, England together and did a con like 3 or 4 years ago. We had an incredibly fun time. So it's not outside the, I mean, Santa Cruz is substantially closer than Manchester. It's not outside the realm of possibility, but nobody has approached us. We'd have to get organized. You know, I haven't been back in years. I mean, I've been back many times since we shot that movie, but I've been back in years. But it'd be fun. Yeah.
Do you guys have, with the staying power of Lost Boys and Bill and Ted, you're talking about you guys all going to Manchester and everything. Do you guys get together very often? Do you guys get to, like...
We see each other more now than we have had in years, just because everybody we all stayed friendly, but everyone kind of broke off into their lives. Jason lives not far from me in LA, and his son is my son's age. His son's a really talented guitar player, Gus. And I've just seen Billy probably more frequently than most. We went to see the Broadway show together not that long ago for the opening night. So yeah, we will see each other off. You know, not to the degree Ken and I have just been really close friends, like friends in a way that's just a little different, just because you don't end up with that many friends like that in the business. But we all dig each other's company.
I saw a hand, yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering, my hometown, what do you think of Santa Cruz, and have you spent time there since?
Yeah, after Lost Boys, I dated a girl who went to UCSB, so I was there all the time. And I had a band that used to play up there at different places up in Santa Cruz. And so I've spent quite a bit of time up there over the years. And I was up there after the quake quite a bit, you know, changed the city a lot. You know, and I have a friend now, I'm of an age where I have like friends whose kids are going to UCSB. So it's a different kind of way into the town, but I've always loved it. It's magical. It's a really beautiful, it's still retained, you know, the quake hit it pretty hard, but it kind of retained its soulfulness. You know, it's a very interesting, magical place in that way. And as you know, because of, for a lot of reasons, people congregate there from all over. That's the whole reason they took it and sort of darkened it for the movie. The idea of Santa Clarita, like when we were doing Bill and Ted, Lost Boys, we did it originally. I'd been up around Santa Cruz and I knew the vibe. It was similar. I was a New Yorker. It was similar to New York City, where you just had kids descending on it from like quite young, some of them, from all over the place, right? So I always assumed that like we didn't have like backstory written, but I was like, God knows where Marco came from. It sure as hell was a Santa Clarita, right? So people were just descending on this place from all over. Thankfully, that's mostly a really good vibe in reality and not a dark thing. So it's the thing I still like about that town. Plus the music is great up there, so I was good guys.
Well, guys, unfortunately, that has tapped us out as far as time, but Alex, you know, go back to and visit him at his table all weekend. We are so glad that you could come and be here with us.
Yeah,
this
of course.
weekend, man.
Great to be here. Sure. Sure, of course.
high sauna without the water.
See the selfie, guys. That's great. I was gonna ask you whether I could get
Like your name on it?